Om Shanti. Part 3, Life in the Yagya. Nearly 300 sons and daughters of this Yagya stayed in those 5 buildings. They were people of varied backgrounds, ages, castes, and economic status. For such a variety of souls to live together day after day, year after year, is no small thing. In the outside world, even families of 3 and 4 people have difficulty managing to live in peace with one another. But Baba's children flourished without friction or quarrels. The members of the anti-party convinced themselves that it would only be a matter of time before rifts arose in the group. But they were wrong. Even when money was short, the bond of faith between the children and the father never broke. The community survived all storms because it had not been created by a human being, nor did it exist for any human end. The Supreme Being himself had established this yagya, and his power protected it. Under the canopy of Shiv Baba's love, his children went on transforming their old traits and habits, sanskaras, creating new soul-conscious attitudes. Baba and Mama donated constant inspiration, unshakable enthusiasm, clear guidance, and the unfaltering example of their own lives. Next chapter, titled Trance. God has explained to humanity that the structure of the universe is triple layered. Beyond this physical dimension lies a vast illuminated region called the subtle world, which itself is composed of 3 layers, where various kinds of visions are experienced by many souls. Shiv Baba uses this realm as a sort of halfway house once he descends from his incorporeal realm. Beyond the subtle world lies the infinite world of light. The Brahma Tattva, which the Buddhists call Nirvana. In this expanse of golden red light, our Father resides for most of the cycle of time, in a part of that world called Paramdham, the highest home. This is the true home of all human souls, where we dwelt before we ever took birth, and where we shall soon return to total peace, total silence. Shiv Baba teaches us to go there now with our minds and to sit lovingly beside him. This is meditation. Before long, every Raj Yogi experiences himself as a radiant, conscient point of light in an ocean of peace and bliss, light and power. It is in this way that God makes man in his own image. Some of the students were granted the gift of going into trance to receive a special message from Shiv Baba in the subtle region. These souls, mostly women, were known as trance messengers. Shiv Baba showed them fantastic scenes of the golden age of the royal court and the elegant, bejeweled apparel of the deities. He told his daughters to make such dresses as they had seen and wear them so others could see and understand the reality of what was to be. Thus, their understanding of the truth matured. Occasionally, Shiv Baba would inform these trance messengers about certain students who still had bad traits or sanskaras, which they tried to hide. Such students thought that no one could see them, but no one knew the impure thoughts that went on in their minds. But when the trance messenger daughters revealed their secrets to them privately, they realized the incredible fact that Shiv Baba is privy to all our thoughts and actions. The trance messengers also brought back revelations of Brahma Baba's many births, as well as visions of Brahma Baba in his final, perfect form. Gradually, it sank into people's intellects that this Prajapita Brahma and Jagadamba Saraswati were the very souls who were famed in the scriptures with so many legends, who were revered as Adam and Eve, Adidev and Adidevi, the father and mother of the world, all because of the sacrifice, the untiring service to mankind, and the highest degree of inculcation of divine virtues. And the highest degree of inculcation of divine qualities which they achieved. Next chapter. The secret of the second Brahma. The subject of trance holds great interest for many souls, despite the fact that Shiv Baba has informed us that this experience does nothing to cut one's sins and is no barometer of one's stage in yoga or one's closeness to God. Neither of the present administrative heads of the Yagya, both of whom are clearly the highest caliber souls, are trance messengers. But Baba uses the messengers to bring new information to his children, information which could be so tellingly revealed in any other manner. The experience of one messenger, B.K. Dadi Hriday Mohini, illustrates this. This is how she recalls it. In quotes, one day, Baba announced a new program. For one full week, we were all to observe complete silence, both of speech and of mind. That meant no ideas or thoughts, perfect stillness within. We began immediately, all 300 residents of the Yagya working as before, but silently, in total introversion. The atmosphere seemed utterly angelic, and the children robed in peace and purity and light, moved as gracefully as deities. 2 or 3 days after this program began, the vibrations were so high that all were in a state of bliss. I was sitting one evening with another sister in the process of going deeper into soul consciousness when I received the grace of divine vision from God the Father. I entered the subtle dimension, expecting to see, as others had, scenes of the Golden Age, visions of Radhe and Krishna, or their later roles as Lakshmi and Narayan. But instead, to my amazement, I was suddenly facing Brahma Baba. He was stunningly attractive. I could not understand how Baba could be present in the physical world and also there in subtle form. What was the secret behind this angelic Brahma? I couldn't answer this question, so when I returned from trance, I went to ask Mama. But she seemed not to know either and said I should relate my experience to Brahma Baba. Amazingly, he also seemed uncertain. At last he said, "Daughter, Shiv Baba may be trying to explain some secret. If you enter into trance and see again this other Brahma, you should ask him to introduce himself." That day passed. The next evening, I was trying once more to be soul conscious when I felt pulled suddenly out of my body into the subtle world. This time I stayed in trance continuously for 7 days. When Brahma Baba's image appeared to me, I did as Pitashri, the physical Brahma Baba, had bade me do. I remember asking him, "Can I be lucky enough to receive your complete introduction?" He answered in angelically, "Daughter, I am Avyakt Brahma, subtle or non-material Brahma, the complete form of the same physical Brahma that you know." I met him many times after that, and that Avyakt angel made clear more of the secrets of the knowledge. He taught me the true nature of the subtle world, which is beyond the moon and sun and stars. I learned how it had been created out of pure thought. I also viewed the incorporeal soul world, and there was given the vision of the highest on high, the point of light, Supreme Soul Shiva. From there, I traveled through scenes of the great destruction of the present imperfect world, and thereon into the divine world of Satyug, the Golden Age. I heard the language we will speak there, felt the shimmering material we will wear, observed the daily routine we will follow, and witnessed the customs of the royal court of the gods. I marveled that all the splendor and happiness was for us. When I returned to see angelic Brahma, I understood how this could be the perfect stage of Pitashri, and that Shiv Baba must also be present with him. It was through angelic Brahma that our Supreme Father Shiva gave new names, new and special names during this period to all his surrendered children. Such names are no longer given, but trance messages are still brought back regularly. Here is one of them. Divine message of most beloved Avyakt Bapdada from the subtle world through Sister Gulzar on 6 June 1980. I entered the doorway of the subtle citadel of most beloved Bapdada today in the early morning hour of nectar. What a panorama it was! Just imagine Baba in an overwhelmingly busy posture, the world almighty authority in a very cheerful and charming disposition, surrounded by an air of powerful vibrations. That was how I observed Baba from quite a distance. As I advanced, I gradually felt myself becoming a bodiless, powerful entity until I was face to face with Baba in the spiritually intoxicating form of the Shiv Shakti, like the Father. I was in this powerful stage for just a short duration. Whenever I am reminded of that exceptional experience now, I actually find myself surrounded by that very same panorama again. At long last, Baba smiled and his sweet words flowed. "Lovely child, even this momentary experience will help you in the practice of being in your subtle stage." I responded, "Truly, Baba, it was as if I was experiencing the practical, physical form of the ultimate stage today. I was the master of the world. I was the It was the stage of the master world almighty authority. It was extraordinary." Baba then whispered in my ear, "Daughter, you have to maintain this powerful consciousness constantly, day in and day out. Very soon, a storm of tension will start raging throughout the universe. At the time of such tension, through your paying this attention, you must perform the task of erasing tension. Tension will cause prices to skyrocket. It will cause wounds of mental sorrow and physical suffering. It will also ignite a fire of torment in men and nature, so that people will stumble blindly to satisfy their temporary desires, seeking happiness that proves only to be a mirage. only leading them to face final disillusionment in every field of life, political, ethical, and material. But, Baba said, the result will be but Baba said, the result will be a huge revolution. With one stroke, the world will be transformed. How will it happen? Men have now become overindulgent and dishonest in obtaining their worldly pleasures. For their pleasures, they have sold their character and sacrificed their principles. Even so, ultimately, their excessive demands remain unrealized, and they feel exhausted as if drowning in a whirlpool of adverse circumstances. Then will come an inner awakening, and they will turn their faces away from worldly desires to the hope and wish for attainment of the ultimate. But this inclination towards the divine will not be abrupt and immediate. After realizing their inability to acquire happiness through the previously tried methods, they will initially pass through a stage of searching for something more tangible and substantial. There must be something new, some new path for the attainment of happiness and peace of mind. They will ponder. In the end, even when this effort fails, will come a sincere realization in their minds. Yes, O God, you alone are our only support and salvation, our final destination and goal. This will be the culmination point. The realization, on the one hand, of God the Father being their only support and solution to their problems, and the breaking down, on the other hand, of all their hopes and desires of the vicious world, will spread a worldwide vibration and a general atmosphere of total abandonment and unlimited renunciation all the world over. This single realization will control and overpower the entire atmosphere of tension created by worldly desires. This single realization will control and overpower the entire atmosphere of tension created by worldly desires and focus the world's complete attention on one entity alone, God, with the impact of renunciation of vices as well as regard for God. The soil of all souls will turn soft. At such a time, you children are to be instrumental for sowing the seed of knowledge of God, the Father, in the soil of those souls and bestowing upon them instantly the fruit of their recognition of the Supreme Father with love and sincerity. This will be the time when you need this very powerful stage of world almighty authority like the Father. This will enable and empower you to bestow upon all souls blessings and boons as the fruit of their newly acquired faith. Saying this, Baba suddenly dived deep into the ocean of thoughts. It seemed as if he was concerned about something significant. After a while, I queried, Baba, did you go somewhere? His response was, yes. Baba was concerned with the contrast between the present stage of the children and the final stage. Some children are still playing the game of seesaw with tension and attention. You must convey the message to the sweet children. Now, when you are making endeavors to represent your perfect form before the world for the glorification of Shiv Baba through your Mahayagya, you must keep in mind the aim of transforming the atmosphere of the world with deep understanding, befitting the grandeur of the forthcoming festival. So Mahayagya was held in February 1981. It means great festival. It was held in New Delhi, India. Of course, Bap Dada had great pleasure in observing the great enthusiasm and zeal of service in the children, and said, for the future as well, remain constantly as happy and fortunate and full of all treasures of joy, continue to give such treasures of happiness to others. March ahead and you will continue to progress rapidly. Om Shanti.